What's up guys, Chris VA Travels. Hadn't visited a Civil War site in a while, so I thought I'd walk the grounds of the Newmarket battlefield. I'm out here in Shenandoah County in the Shenandoah Valley. And yeah, I'm at the Civil War Museum of Virginia. And I did a separate video on the museum. I also did the Bushong Farm, which I'm going to walk through for this video. But they gave me a map that goes through all the different stops of the battlefield, so I'm going to hit them all and explain what they are.
First, just want to give you some history on the battle. It was fought May 15th, 1864 during the Valley campaigns. It's where a makeshift Confederate army of 4,100 men, headed by General John C. Breckinridge, defeated the larger Army of the Shenandoah under Major General Franz Sigel. And the battle is remembered as the only time in American history that a school student body was used as an organized combat unit. Yeah, Breckinridge, desperate for troops, ordered up cadets from the Virginia Military Institute, averaged only 18 years of age, with many soldiers just being 15 years old. Yeah, and he had them attack Union lines. And the result of the battle is it delayed the capture of Stanton for several weeks. And the event is central to VMI's history and heritage.
All right, let's get this going. Stop number one. And behind us would be Shirley's Hill. And that's where the battle began around 11 a.m. And it's where Confederate troops crested. And they began to engage Union skirmishers. And the town of Newmarket, which is about a mile south, it was cleared of Federal troops around 12:30 p.m. And this line in front of us, this was the center line of battle. And it's the line the VMI cadets marched. Okay, so we're coming up on number 2. And 3 Union infantry regiments and 17 pieces of artillery established a new battle line on Bushong's Hill, 600 yards in front of us. And between 1:30 and 2 p.m., Confederate troops advanced steadily toward the Bushong Farm. Yeah. So, yeah, just a bunch of young boys in reserve. Pretty crazy. And pretty decent sized homestead. Bushong family lived here. Okay, so number 3. The cannon located about 50 yards to your right. Is there a cannon? Oh, right here. Yeah, an actual bronze cannon. So the gun marks the position of Confederate Lieutenant Randolph H. Blaine's 4-gun battery, which moved forward in direct support of the advancing infantry. Yes, it was all going down, moving right through the farm. And the next stop is going to be the farm across Interstate 81, Massanutten Mountain. And wow, couldn't have asked for a better day. I was here yesterday, it was rainy, it was miserable all day. But yeah, here's the farmhouse. Just a 3-bay building. Here it is, circa 1880. Wow, and it looks pretty much as it did then. House was built in 1825 by Jacob Bushong. And 1852, the add-on on the back, which is the north side, was added for the growing family. They had 6 kids. And I'll let you know there were 3 enslaved workers that lived here on the property. And this is just a vernacular Federal style building. You'll see the stone chimney, brick on top. And during the battle, 7 of the Bushong family members were down in the basement, and they could see the VMI cadets' feet march by during the battle. That's pretty crazy. But let me walk around, go inside. All right, a rocking chair on the front stoop. And you'll see the boot scraper right here. And I hope this is the entrance. Transom window, always have to mention. Oh, here we go. Oh, good. All right. Oh, wow. I'm seeing a bloody apron first thing. So, let me rid of the glare. Yeah, luckily they had chloroform. Wow. Okay, so just gauze down there. And you know what went on right here? Amputations, yeah, saw back there. See the tourniquet? This was a smaller battle. A lot of times outside of these rooms where they do surgery, they'll toss the limbs out the window. Pretty wild. And let me see. Union wounded 1863. Okay. And let's see what's in this room. Oh, wow, okay. Looks like a pretty good cake right there. And I think some Mennonites are walking up. Zoom in on this grandfather clock. Oh, nice settee right there. Yeah, stone fireplace. Nice mirror right there. And this is the east parlor. Zoom in on the tea set. Doll down there. Okay, it's got the Bible sitting over there. Okay, so the east parlor, the Bushong family were middle class farmers. Okay, so there was an 1818 log home here originally. Yeah, I've gone over a house built 1825. And you can pause it and read. All right, let me go upstairs. Great, I've got this place to myself. All right, so obviously bedroom over here, washstand back there. Just writing some letters in bed, it looks like, on the rope bed. Chamber pot down there. And okay. Spinning wheel back here. Baby cradle back there. Another wash stand, some lye soap, old toothbrush. And this is a restricted area. Can't go up there, doesn't, there's a door to the left. Okay, all right. Well, quick little tour of the house. No, there's no write-up up here. All right. And it's neat just seeing how a family lived out in this part of the state back mid 19th century. All right, well, I'm gonna walk around, check out some of these outbuildings. And here's a little map, just talking about the buildings. Over here, this is the blacksmith shop. And so we're gonna have a little forge in there, but let me walk around first. Plank door right here. Chimney, of course, where the forge is gonna be. But yeah, it says farmers from the 19th century were almost completely self-sufficient. In the shop, Harrison Bushong, he repaired farm and home implements and often made those items he could not purchase. You can't hear the, there's a little speaker up here. You can hear it a little bit, but the Interstate 81 is, yeah, just too loud. But yeah, forge right here. You see the blower back there? Check out over here, like some sort of bear trap. Yeah. Of course, you got your anvil, just kind of horse and ox collars up there, and a lot of tools along the wall. Cash.
Charcoal was burned in the forge to your right. Beyond the forge is a lower level used for forging nailed into the poles to make them.
And what is this? I know that's not for a baby. But all right, cool. All right, well, this is the blacksmith shop. And let me walk across. This looks like another blacksmith shop, but let me see what this is. Over here, this is the wheelwright. And wheelwright, it says a variety of carpentry tasks were accomplished in the shop, including making and repairing of wheels for wagons and buggies, obviously. And I thought they might have a buggy in here, but you can probably hear this one a little bit better. Oh wow, that's a serious saw right there. Yeah, plow to the left. And okay, there is one wheel behind me. And your black horse right here. Wow, some pretty fat axes back there. Take a closer look at all these axes and chisels, hatchets, hammers. And you see they have long, narrow tree trunks going across up there. Some sickles over here. Okay, yeah, here's that wheel. And there's a jack down there. Okay, that's a serious split rail fence right there. All right, and I guess I'll go ahead and walk back to this big barn. This is called the bank barn, and it says Jacob Bushong. He could drive his wagon up the bank entrance to the second floor. Okay, so maybe on the other side, where the ground's a little bit higher, yeah, he would just drive up to the second floor. And the original barn served as a hospital following the battle. Wow. And it was lost to fire July 5th, 1939, and rebuilt the following year. And here's the broadside of it. Okay. So, yeah, it looks like he would drive up this little kind of embankment thing. All right, well, he'd drive his buggy, whoops, Watch my step. Right up in there. Yeah, they're all padlocked up. Wow, it's so relaxing, so calming out here. Especially if you took away Interstate 81. And that's where I'll walk over there after I look at the rest of these outbuildings. But that's where the field of lost shoes is beyond that fence. That's where the VMI cadets lined up along the fence. I'm not sure how well you can see it right now, but we've got an outhouse up here to the left. Okay, maybe I can open it up. I don't know, I don't think you can open it, but yeah, so okay, and over here, all right, so this is the 1818 farmhouse, the original before this building was built. And the house is believed to have served as Jacob and Sarah Bushong's first home at the time of their marriage in 1818 until the main house, like I say, 1825 was built. And you probably can't go in here, but oh yeah, it serves as the bathrooms now. The summer kitchen is back here in the wash house, and usually the kitchens are closer to the big house. But anyway, let me walk on up, take a look at it. And I was gonna say, there ought to be a pretty fat chimney on that thing if that's where they did the cooking. Be a big hearth inside. Log cabin with the dovetail design. So this obviously kitchen, this is where most of the cooking would be done, but it's also where the laundry would be washed. Oh wow, let my and my eyes adjust. All I see is blackness right now. Yeah, cabinet right there. I thought it was gonna be a pie cabinet, but I don't see the perforations. Yeah, like I say, pretty big hearth right here. Couple irons above, and yeah, they've got salt. A lot of these places have sorghum out here, like a molasses to sweeten your food, but that says salt. So, and I don't know if anything's going to be up here, but up here in the attic, and this might be where the slaves slept. A lot of times, where the cook would sleep with her family. All right, probably did the laundry over here, or maybe it's just this is where they stored the firewood. Real old wheelbarrow right here. Probably had a little herb garden or something right here. Okay, all right, so according to the write-up, the slaves did live up above. Let's see what this stone building is. Oh, so this is gonna be the ice house. And we're not far from the Shenandoah River. And they would have gone out there, sawed off blocks of ice, put it down below. Usually there's a pit 15 to 18 feet deep. I don't see one. Maybe it's cool enough out here. They don't have to do that, but butter, 10 pounds of butter right here. And it says Bushong on the side. Yeah, this plank door. Well, it feels good in here. It's nice and cool. Maybe on the other side, there's a pit. Anyway, you see kind of there'd be an attic up there. Nah, Anyway, so tucked back here in the corner, this is the hen house. It says during the day the chickens and hens would roam free, but at night they'd be put up in the hen house. Well, yep. That's where they would roost. Okay, you see this is made with tree branches and thin tree trunks. Let me check out this log cabin in the oven over here. Let me go over to the oven. This is just an example of a semi-cylindrical oven that was used by families out here in the Shenandoah. Probably made cooked bread in there. Obviously you see where the fire was. All right, so it looks like we just have one more building. Over here, the meat and loom house. Salt cured and smoked meat was stored in the logs section of this building. So I guess in the back portion, which I'll see if there's a door on that. And the frame section was the loom where they would produce cloth. There's meat hanging right there. So I don't know, I guess they meant this when they said log section. But yeah, smokehouse up here. And usually a lot of times you have little vents, little cracks. But anyway, so some tools over here, a little kind of scale type thing. And it's a hook. And okay, so the loom, yeah, the loom's back here. Kind of a tight squeeze. But producing linen, that was big out here amongst the Mennonite, also amongst the Scotch Irish. Yeah, there's a weasel back there, spinning wheel, flax, wool. All right, so, all right, I guess that was the last building. That's it for the Bushong Farm, and I'm gonna walk up here and take a walk around some of the battlefield and go up to the line where the cadets stood. Here's the back of the ice house. Again, I feel like the ice would go underground, but. Okay, so right here where all the companies reformed the line, and they were now in the line of enemy fire. Wow, okay. So let me walk across the orchard up to number 6. And this is gonna be the Confederate line up here. This is where the cadets began their charge. Yeah, walking through the orchard, a bunch of leaves blowing off that tree. And yeah, fall is in the air, you can tell. But yeah, anyway, so number 6, it says to meet the Union charge spearheaded by the 34th Massachusetts, the Confederates climbed the fence, which doesn't look like a difficult task. Again, VMI cadets were lined up right through here. This is where they fixed their bayonets and stormed across the field in front of us. The field of lost shoes. And that white little marker marks where a lot of the shoes were lost. And the Shenandoah River is going to be to our left, kind of a little ways behind those trees. I see a marker down here. This might give us some more information. And if you haven't seen it, check out the movie Field of Lost Shoes. It's pretty good. I watched it the other day. And for me, it was neat. Obviously, it took place in Virginia, and it was just neat seeing all the places around here referenced. Everywhere from Lexington to Stanton to Harrisonburg to up here in Newmarket. And it featured Ezekiel Moses, a Jewish artist that I studied up on, who had a pretty crazy career as an artist, lived over in Italy. He was arrested for spying, apparently, or charged with it during the Franco-Prussian War. Also, Governor Wise. It was just kind of neat seeing some of these Virginia characters portrayed in a movie. And go ahead and pause and read if you want to read up on Woodson's Missouri Cavalry. All right, so this is one of two monuments that were erected by veterans of the battle. This one was placed by members of the Woodson's Company, Missouri Cavalry, the unit that followed perhaps the strangest path to the field of conflict. Here he is, Charles Woodson, from a post-war newspaper photo. And so it looks like there's a 54th Pennsylvania monument. Maybe I'll walk over to that. But yeah, you'll see the VMI soldiers. Again, like I say, Massanutten Mountain, it's a long mountain that it sits right in the middle of the Shenandoah Valley. And the only way, or the best way to get through, is the Newmarket Gap you'll see right there. So the cadet line right behind me, that was number 6, number 7 is right up here. And like I say, this kind of marks where the shoes mostly got stuck in the mud. And it says the field was planted in spring wheat and it was now reduced to a muddy bog. Yeah, because they had just had 3 days of rain, actually. Okay, and then it says in the heat of the battle, 15-year-old cadet Samuel B. Adams, he attempted to retrieve one of the shoes that was stuck in the mud. And he said, "It seemed to me I was a long time in doing it. After the battle, the spot became known as the Field of Lost Shoes." Okay. All right, so we're gonna have 8, 9 up here, and then we're gonna go under Interstate 81 to visit the 54th Pennsylvania Monument. So they've got a cannon positioned up there. Again, an actual brass colored brass cannon. So right here, this was the position of von Kleischer's 30th New York Battery. Go up and take a look at this cannon. And oh, there's another cannon up there at stop number 9. And without support from the retreating federal forces, von Kleischer was forced to abandon his cannon. Yeah, and it was captured by the cadets, so yeah, good on them. Okay, so ammunition box back here. Great shot of the Bushong Farm with the mountain in the background. There's some Mennonites walking by up there, their little bonnets on, prayer caps, I think they call them. They're throwing frisbee. Maybe they were playing frisbee golf, I don't know. But yeah, this is gonna be position number 9. So right here, this looks like it would be the right flank of the Union line that extended, of course, to, well, US 11 on the other side of 81. And yeah, I'll be walking over there in a bit. I think that's where that 54th Memorial sits. So the Confederates charged along this line, and this is about 3 p.m. that they pushed the Yankee soldiers backwards and pursued them for a few miles. Pretty high peak over there. But all right, well, that's stop number 9. And let me go up and walk underneath the interstate. Man, it is just so beautiful out here. Cheers, guys. All right, we're about to go through. They locked the gate at 4:30, which I've got an hour and a half. And is there light, a skylight, in between northbound and southbound maybe? I can't really see through it, but Huh, some grass growing right there. Huh. All right. And if you come out here, I would plan a weekend. You could spend a half a day inside the museum. Half day, I guess, if you want to walk all of the battlefield, maybe not a half day, but several hours. And then there's a separate Newmarket museum that I'm gonna have to come back and visit. I'm not even sure if they're open today. Today's Sunday. And then if you're in the town of Newmarket, they've got a museum on Newmarket that still talks a lot about the battle. It's worth checking out. So yeah, a lot to see out here. All right, so we're gonna get some shade walking through this grove of cedars. Bunch of thick brush over there. Yeah, I took a left and wow, so beautiful. And yeah, it's neat how you can see the clouds go across the mountain, the wet clouds. And probably can't see it, but behind the tree to the left is the monument. Up on the crest there, marker A that I just walked by, that's where Colonel George Smith, who was commanding the 62nd Virginia, he remembered that Conrad Currents, that's where he was killed trying to grab his colors. So pretty sad. And then marker B right here, this is where the Union cavalry was repelled by severe Confederate artillery. So Union cavalry made it up to right here. All right. Lots of rolling hills in this part of the valley. Okay, and I just walked by marker C, and that's where the Confederates took full advantage of the disorganized Federal charge. And they shot into the ranks of the charging infantry that was rising over this crest. And this is where suddenly the Confederates realized that one of the Union regiments, the 54th Pennsylvania, had been unprotected. The 22nd Virginia and the 23rd Virginia Battalion began an advance on the right flank, while the 62nd Virginia, they fired on the left flank. The 51st Pennsylvania soon joined the other Federal regiments in a defensive retreat. Okay, almost to the monument, and this is the last marker, marker E. And having pursued the Federals to this point, the Confederates came under fire from the 5th U.S. Artillery Battery, commanded by Captain Henry A. DuPont. Wow, okay. Pretty nice statue. Oh yeah, again, that breeze. I feel this good. Sorry, I can't stop saying it. Erected to the memory of the heroic dead of the 54th Pennsylvania, who gave their lives in defense of their country. What is this down here? At the ceremonies conducted September 16th, 1984, title to this monument was transferred from the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania to the Newmarket Battlefield Park. Okay, and the monument was originally dedicated on October 25th, 1905. Okay. And the men of the 54th Pennsylvania Infantry, it now serves as a memorial to all who fought at the Battle of Newmarket. Again, occurred May 15th, 1864. Let me zoom in on this guy. And here is Private David Finley, Company A of the 54th Pennsylvania. Oh yeah, and he was killed here. And Sergeant William Eppinger, Company C. Fine mustache. 1st Platoon, Company C. Here we are. So yeah, Federals were lined up just back there. Oh, and here's Jacob Bushong with his little buddy at the monument. This is 1910. Stonewall Jackson. Oh, of course, VMI. Okay. He's got his looking glasses. Pretty nice statue. Oh, and this used to sit out front of VMI, I'm sorry. The 1990 restoration of the Jackson statue was made possible by the descendants of William Bradford Ryland, class of 1924. Yeah, all right, pretty cool. Oh, Moses Ezekiel, who fought in the Battle of Newmarket, yeah, famous Jewish artist. And there are a bunch of his statues at the Norfolk Botanical Garden, if you ever get a chance to go out there. And up here, from the research I've done, these are the soldiers, the VMI soldiers that passed away. Pretty cool. All right, so this is the VMI color guard as they salute the 6 graves of the Newmarket cadets who died here May 15th, 1864. And shout out to my cousin, Nicholas Hassel, graduate 2015 of VMI, and just became a major, so pretty cool. Congrats to him. Oh, Moses Ezekiel right there on the left. Gravestones of the cadets. Oh, from Westmoreland County. J.C. Wheelwright. And here he is. Here's the Thomas C. Jefferson, or is it Thomas G. Jefferson? I'm sorry. Oh, in Amelia. I have family in Amelia. Yeah, killed here May 15th. W.C. McDowell. And North Carolina, it looks like. Who we have over here? Henry Jenner Jones, and born in King William. This one's pretty clear. Born out there in Wythe County. Cadet C.G. Crockett. One last statue to look at. This guy over here, I saw him driving in, and I'm not sure where you're supposed to park to visit. There's a parking spot like a ways over there, and you've got to walk around, or there's a parking spot a ways down there, and you've got to walk around this fence to get to him. But it's the Virginia Monument in memory of the Sons of Virginia. Okay. And the monument in front of the Albemarle County Courthouse in 1909. Oh, so they must have removed it. Those guys have their top hats on. All right, the monument in front of you was originally erected in front of the Albemarle Courthouse in Charlottesville, 1909. The monument was paid for by the United Daughters of the Confederacy. And the bronze soldier on top, known as At Ready, was purchased from a foundry that mass-produced Confederate monuments in the late 1800s, early 1900s. Confederate statues in bronze. Of course, yeah, 2020 is when they all kind of came down or got moved. Right here, units who fought at Newmarket. Yeah, total that engaged, 5,039 were killed, 495 wounded, and 13 missing. All right, let me go up and take a look at them. Those look really cool. In front of the mountains, I'll say that. All right, so I see the Confederate flag on this side. And yeah, right there, 1861, Virginia, 1865, and At Ready. Sun's a little bit behind them. But warriors, your valor, your devotion to duty, fortitude under provisions teach us how to suffer and grow strong. Oh yeah, the Sig Semper Tyrannis. Bugle right there. Confederate soldiers, defenders of the rights of the states. And here again are all the different regiments, infantry, the cavalry, and artillery. Okay, I'm spent. That's it for my tour of the Newmarket battlefield. And if you're coming out here, again, if you're a Civil War buff, you're going to want to plan a weekend. Yeah, a lot to see on the battlefield. You'll want to visit the Bushong Farm, of course, the Civil War Museum of Virginia, and then the separate Newmarket Battlefield Museum. So, and you'll probably want to go into the town of Newmarket and visit that as well. A lot of plaques around town, and again, there's a little bit to see at the visitor center. But yeah, guys, I'm gonna get out of here. As always, like and subscribe. See you on the next one.